Hey there, I'm Carrie, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Little Tree, a poem published in 1920 by E. Cummings. I'm going to read through the poem first, so if you just need to listen to it for class, that'll be right up front. Then I'll go back and break it down verse by verse, talk about style and structure and other stuff that you might see on a test or in an essay question. I've got timestamps in the video notes, so scroll down, click around, find exactly what it is you need. All right, let's get into Little Tree. Little tree, little silent Christmas tree, you are so little you are more like a flower. Who found you in the green forest, and were you very sorry to come away? See, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight just as your mother would, only don't be afraid. Look, the spangles that sleep all the year in a dark box, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine, the balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. Put up your little arms and I'll give them all to you to hold. Every finger shall have its ring and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. Then when you're quite dressed, you'll stand in the window for everyone to see, and how they'll stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud. And my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, we'll dance and sing, Noel, Noel. All right, so that's the whole thing. It is super short, so let's go ahead and go back and do some analysis. So this was published in 1920 by E. Cummings, who was an American poet. What you've probably already noticed is there's no rhyming in this poem. That is because E. Cummings was a big fan of free verse poetry. Free verse poetry is a form of poetry that really does not follow any established rules. So it doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to have a meter, consistent meter. Meter is like the rhythm structure of a poem. A really famous one is iambic pentameter. That's the meter that Shakespeare typically wrote in. But meter is very, very structured. Like there's a certain number of words per line, a certain number of syllables. The stress has to hit on a particular word or syllable. It's much more familiar to what we as Westerners would think of as poetry. So free verse does not follow any of that. You can do whatever you want. You can use punctuation or not use punctuation. You probably noticed in here he's not a big fan of punctuation. And the point of free verse is to follow like more natural speech patterns. Humans don't normally talk in rhyme and rhythm. Maybe Dr. Seuss did. I don't know. Maybe Eminem does. I don't know. But most humans do not naturally talk in that rhythm and rhyme format. So free verse is meant to be a little bit more like how we sound when we talk, just in day-to-day conversation. As I said, he's not really big on punctuation and grammar in this poem. There's only 2 capital letters, and it's the words Christmas and Noel. There are no periods in this poem. There aren't very many commas, and there are some places where it would be a logical place to have a comma. Doesn't have one. You will notice in the second and fourth verse, there are 7 verses. In the second and fourth verse, there are spots where there is a gap in the line, like there's a big gap between 2 words, but there's no punctuation there. I believe that this is there to indicate a pause for the speaker, whoever's reciting or reading the poem, a natural pause, a natural gap in the speech, and I'll talk more about that when we go through it. The only real guideline that I can see this poem going for is that it is written in quatrains. Now, a quatrain is a 4-line stanza. So there are 7 verses here. Each one has 4 lines. They're not rhyming lines. They're not metered lines, but each one is 4 lines. So quatrain, like quadrilateral, if you're in geometry right now, quadrilateral is a 4-sided figure. If you're taking Spanish right now, cuatro is 4. In French, quatre is 4. So 4-line stanzas. You get it. So one other special thing that I do want you to notice is the shape of this poem. The shorter verses are at the very beginning and at the very end, and the longer verses are towards the middle and kind of the bottom third of the poem. And the absolute shortest lines are at the very top and the very bottom. So what does the shape of the poem kind of go with? It's a little Christmas tree, you know, where the pine tree comes to a point and then the branches kind of expand out as the tree grows down until they taper off there at the trunk at the bottom. So yes, free verse does not just have to be about the definition of the words. It can be about the appearance of the words on the page. That's all part of free verse poetry. So yeah, cute. All right, so let's go ahead and break this down by the 7 verses. We'll just go one at a time. Verse 1, little tree, little silent Christmas tree. So the speaker here is a child, and the child is talking to the tree as if the tree has a personality, like the tree is a thinking creature and that it's going to talk back. It's personification. You are so little, you are more like a flower. So what I'm guessing here is this is not an actual tree. It's probably like a branch that has been broken off, a Christmas tree that's been taken home, and that's why it looks like a flower instead of having like the full Christmas tree shape. It's just, you know, like a stem with a burst of pine needles at the top, so it looks more like a flower than it does like a tree. All right, verse 2, who found you in the forest, and were you very sorry to come away? So the speaker is talking to the tree as if the tree is a lost child. Like, I can see you're separated from your family. I can see you are not in your home. Are you okay? Where are you from? Are you sad to be gone from there? These are very childlike questions. Adults have more filter. You know, we don't usually like throw our feelings and concerns out there as well as children do. See, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. So this is one of the spots where there's a gap in the words. In the third line of the second verse, it says, see, gap, I will comfort you because you smell so sweetly. So that indicates a natural pause in the speech. So I might say like, oh, see, my dog is chasing a squirrel again. You know, there's a natural gap there, even though it doesn't use punctuation. And what the kid is doing here is like offering to be friends. Like, hey, it's okay. I can see that you're lonely, but that's all right because you can come home with me and we'll be your family now. All right, verse 3. I will kiss your cool bark and hug you safe and tight just as your mother would. So the child, you know, the speaker is really concerned about this lost little tree. You know, it's like, you're away from your family and I know that you're scared. I know that you're lonely, but it's okay because we'll hug you and make you feel safe just like your mom would. Kind of like a good night ritual, you know, we'll tuck you in just like you're safe at home with your family. Right. Verse 4, look, the spangles that sleep all the year in a dark box. So again, there's that gap in the words. We've got look, gap, the spangles that sleep all the year in a dark box. So that's the natural pause in the speech again, like the look, there goes my dog. The spangles are Christmas ornaments. These are Christmas decorations. It says they sleep all the year in a dark box. So they're stored in the attic or in a storage closet somewhere out of sight. They have been out of the light. They've been in the dark all year long, dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine. So this is again personification. Not only is the tree, you know, thinking and talking back to the speaker, but the ornaments are coming into the conversation now, and he's giving human emotions and human actions, you know, sleeping and dreaming to the Christmas ornaments. Dreaming of being taken out and allowed to shine, the balls, the chains, red and gold, the fluffy threads. So this is the child again, you know, the speaker is very, very excited. We're finally getting to decorate the Christmas tree. I've been waiting to do this. And that's why there are no like gaps or commas there, is because this kiddo is so excited that it's just spilling out of them and they're talking really fast. The balls, the chains, red and gold, fluffy threads. They're very, very excited to be decorating the tree. Verse 5. Put up your little arms and I'll give them all to you to hold. When children are trying to comfort other children, one of the things they might do is like, here, you can hold my favorite toy. So the speaker is saying like, you know, I want you to feel better. So hold out your arms. There's the personification again. Instead of twigs or branches, the tree has arms. Hold out your arms and I'll give them all to you to hold. You get to hold all the Christmas decorations. You know, you're going to feel special. Every finger shall have its ring, personification again. Instead of twigs, we've got fingers. Every finger shall have its ring, and there won't be a single place dark or unhappy. You're going to get lots of attention. You're not going to be ignored. You're going to feel beautiful. You're going to feel special. You're going to feel excited. All right, verse 6. Then when you're quite dressed, decorated, you'll stand in the window for everyone to see, and how they'll stare. Oh, but you'll be very proud. So it's like, it reminds me of a kid on Halloween, like, show them your costume. You know, everyone's gonna be so excited. The speaker's really, really proud of the tree. You know, you're all dressed up, you're in your ornaments, and everyone else is going to see just how special you are. They're going to be just as excited as I am, and you are going to feel so amazing. You will feel so proud. You're gonna feel better now. You won't feel lonely anymore. Verse 7, and my little sister and I will take hands, and looking up at our beautiful tree, will dance and sing Noel, Noel. So this is like the Christmas party. Like, once we've got the tree all decorated, we're going to stand around. You're part of the family. You're going to be part of the Christmas celebration. We're all going to hold hands and be together. We'll dance and sing Noel, Noel. What that's probably referring to is the Christmas Carol, the first Noel. But Noel literally means Christmas. All right, that's about all I've got on Little Tree. I hope you found something in there helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when the next story or poem becomes available. If there was a different story or a particular author that you're interested in, drop that in the comments and I will see what I can do. Best of luck to you, and I'll see you in the next chapter.